Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Chartered Institutes of Taxation Ghana organized 11th Annual International Tax Conference 2023 with the theme Taxation and Economic Development, a review of Ghana's tax policies. Speaking with the media was the president for Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana, Mr. George Ohenekwetia. He calls on various stakeholders across Ghana to continue to educate the public on the essence of effective taxation in the country.
Which are very challenging to us as a country. And the three main areas are the informal sector, the area of indirect taxes, and the digital service economy, which is now picking up in our country. Traditionally, digital services hasn't been a challenge, but now we know the challenges it poses. The whole world is going digital, and as a country, we cannot be left behind. So that is why we chose these three main areas. The informal sector economy has its own challenges. It constitutes about 70 to 80% of our gross domestic product, and it is essentially an untapped area as far as tax revenues are concerned. So the focus is for us to look at policy initiatives that will help us to be able to rope in the informal sector for them to also be caught in the tax net so as to engender economic.
For some time now, I have raised issues on the need for us to have systems and digitalized systems in between agencies where the efflux and influx of funds, capital funds, can be tracked. We are able to see the amount of monies that are going out. We have the systems in place already, and we are also able to track at the customs what imports are coming in. So the question is, can we get systems that can do the reconciliation? And that is a key thing that I would want us to take as a serious thing for us to put actions in place. In addition to that, coming to the tax on the gaming, it's a big thing, and a lot of youth are affected. But I know the government is a listening government, and so many of these youth who depend on or make livelihood out of betting, out of gaming, will be disadvantaged if they cannot earn an income anymore. And so we are looking forward to some actions to look at the tax holistically, because I believe that it is well-meaning. However, maybe we have to do a little more education and then bring all on board. My last point is that tax is very essential to the economic development of Ghana, and everybody must come on board. We need the academicians, we need the chiefs, we need the religious leaders to start talking about tax, because it is only when we all have an attitude to accept tax as a good thing that our tax can be easily paid and we would avoid tax evasion. Thank you very much.
Tax compliance and tax consciousness among the taxpayers and the Ghanaians in general. And then also, based on the submission given to the ministry and the Ghana Revenue Authority, we also expect improved tax administration that bring efficiency into tax administration. And then also, we expect that the government will also improve upon the use of resources that are collected through tax compliance or tax administration. When you talk with some taxpayers and then the Ghanaians in general, low compliance is happening because they are not so pleased with the resources that we collected or the taxes that we collected from our people, they are not being put into the best use. So these few days conversations that we have, coupled with the Auditor General's report on the misuse of resources within the public sector, we look forward to seeing more improved tax administration that largely reduce waste in the system, waste in the tax collection, and then also the utilization of the
because the Society of Women in Taxation is a female wing of the Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana. And our mandate is to ensure that the women folks in the economy are reached. That was one of the bases of forming the Society of Women in Taxation. Because when you look at the informal sector, largely women. And as such, informal sector, we need to educate them for them to understand taxes. But for the program this season, for the last 11th tax conference, we had our conference Tuesday. Yes. And the conference theme was taxation and economic development, a review of Ghana's taxation. We had different speakers talking about the main paper was presented by one Professor Aka from Legon. And he really did a good job. The need where we need to review policies, the need where we have to do all things to make people willing to also pay tax. And the sub-teams were also taken by different members of the CITG. And as such, they did justice to the paper. And as such, we as Ghanaians, we should know we have a role to play in the economic development of the economy. So when we are looking at the review of the papers, how we will be able to touch down to each and every one so that at the end of the day, more money comes into the system by educating them. And the women folks, we need to educate them more. We need to let them understand policies that at the end of the day, when people, they will also willingly contribute their quota to economic development. And so I believe sincerely that this year's theme was very good. And as such, we are in to help to raise revenue for the nation. Because as the president has said, Ghana beyond aid. Ghana beyond aid means we have to look for monies in this country. And so if you understand the payment of tax, if you understand the policies, if you understand what you are doing, paying becomes easier. And so with this conference that we have completed today, I believe we all go all out to help.
It's magical.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.